Okay. Hi,
Hi,
Daniel.
Ariana. What's up?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. Even
That's,
better now that the AC just turned back on in here.
oh, that's good. So, did you feel a lot of pressure to be a part of Issa's first show after Insecure?
At first, yeah. At first. I remember when we first started. Um, I auditioned. The first time I auditioned was in like July, and then I heard back in like August, and then they sent me a request to come in to do a chemistry read with Aida. That was a trip. That was like my first sense of real like whoa, because I walked into the room and you got the execs, casting director, um, Issa is there, and I remember doing the audition, and it was a we had real fun energy in there, and then they let me know, okay, cool, you booked the role. Now you're gonna come and do a table read. And then we came and did the table read. After the table read, I realized, oh, we have another table read. Issa was like, we're doing another table read tomorrow at HBO Max office. You guys were just coming in here today to do one with me. And then I was like, oh, so you about to be specific. So she started like calling us in the room and telling us, like what she thought about this and where she, what she was kind of trying to work on in certain situations. But I kept on thinking about it, and I just got to the thought that, like, she created the show. She wrote these pages, and she has a vision for just how she wants certain things to feel. And once I got back to the thought that she had intentions with this, I was able to ground myself and focus on the work. Anytime I'm able to do that, I can kind of put away the sense of like, tension or whatever that comes into it.
So, you're from Fort Lauderdale, which is near Miami. Would you
Yeah.
say the show has a good, accurate depiction of how Miami is? And how's it like to shoot in an area that you're from?
I'm gonna say it like this: the show does a great job of depicting Miami. The show is a little deeper than Miami to me, though, because to me the show is actually about music and the music industry, but it starts in Miami. So I think it uses Miami in some ways as a backdrop, which gives it its flavor. It gives it its sense of identity per se. But to me, the show is totally about these girls. They could have been anywhere, these girls. They just happen to live in Miami. And the show is totally about these girls trying to make it. And the music industry is almost the location to me, to be honest. But I do feel like it does a great job of talking about Miami, bringing Miami up in little jokes, little moments that kind of can just make it feel like they're not forcing it, but it's totally seasoned. I feel like they've seasoned Miami into the recipe of what this show is quite well.
Awesome. And speaking of the music industry, according to IMDb, you actually have created music yourself as well. Do you want to speak a little bit about your music career? But I guess started at 12 according to IMDb.
Yeah, you are interesting. Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I started early. I started at the church. I started a Christian rap group at the church, but like by the time I got to high school and started like, my maturity was changing, that whole testosterone thing was happening. I started writing songs that were more secular at the time. And then so the Christian rap group thing stopped around 16, 17. And yeah, I think my first album I did when I was 21. It was called Sorry for the Delay. That was good. I mean, that was a great experience. That really stemmed from like, big heartbreak at the time, and, really sitting with myself for like the first time and being in isolation. And it was a great experience. I still use those skills when I'm working on film and TV stuff now, because if I'm ever editing, it feels the same to me. It feels like I'm still just moving pieces, moving bars around the screen. And, and I always feel comfortable when it comes down to sound. When I'm watching a TV show, I'm always paying attention a little harder to like, okay, well, what kind of song is that? Oh, okay, they got the vocals in it. Okay, nice. So being on a show like this specifically feels even more like really dope to me too, because if y'all can trip me out with the music, last time we had a watch party, I think it was episode, was it 7? It was 6. Episode 6, when they dropped the Nan Batter song,
Mm-hmm.
like they really had me like out of my body. Like I was like really like jamming. So like if I'm watching a show that could really take me out, because I'm so particular, if you could really just take me out of my initial wall, up over my initial wall, man, something good is coming of it. You know what I'm saying? So my experience with music and being on this show makes this even more special for me, you know,
Do you
beyond
think,
measure.
yeah, do you think you would do more music, or are you kind of just focusing on acting right now?
Oh, I've been working on it. I've been working on actually getting back there. It's just a process.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a process, and it's not something that I would want to just put out just because it's fun to. I've always been a bit of a perfectionist, and that's something that I'm working on. But I definitely will release music again. I just want to really, I just want to really, I want to love what I'm doing. I don't want to just be playing with what I'm doing. I want to love what I'm doing, you know?
I can understand that. So, Maurice, how would you say that you guys are similar and different?
Oh, damn. Similar, we're both Haitian. Similar, we both hustlers. We're both handsome hustlers. I like to say that. Similar, I'll go three similar, three different. Similar, last similar. Our last similarity is we both love bad bitches, and that's our fucking problem. Like, okay, but now let's go into the okay differences. Our differences. I'm married, so even though I love bad bitches and that's my problem, I'm married, so I don't live like Maurice does. You know, I just still understand what it means. Two more differences. I'm not involved in any illegal activities. That's number two. And lastly, how do we differ? How does Maurice and I differ? Well, I never really would walk around with like loose backpack knives. I was never that kind of guy. So there are a lot of things to Maurice that when I see in the script, I'd be like, who is this guy? Like I'm still trying to get to know him. So yeah, I'm still trying to get to know him. Like this is a conversation that's gonna have to develop, and I'm probably gonna still be talking like this 3, 4, 5 years maybe. I don't know. You know, I'm still getting to know him.
Would you be friends with Maurice, or is he just too much trouble?
No, I could be friends with him. I could totally be friends with Maurice. Like Maurice is basically based off like 3 people, me and 2 of my homeboys. Mm-hmm. So like, I know Maurice, like I know him. It's just that every time the writer writes something new that I'd be like, whoa, okay, so okay, that's what we're doing too? Okay. But I would definitely hang out with him. I could definitely hang out with him.
So the motto of the show is seduce and scheme. Do you think Maurice is seducing and scheming Shawna, or do you think he actually has feelings for her?
Oh man, I think he likes her. I think his language is to seduce and scheme everything and everybody. But I think at the same time, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have, you know, the basis or the ability to show love and give love. I think sometimes you just don't know how to. I think that's really what we see a majority of times coming up. We don't necessarily know how to love on each other. But I do think he likes her. I do think Shawna is the type of girl that Maurice probably thinks that, you know, I'll mess with her, but she's not really gonna take me serious. So let me not take her serious first. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if she takes me serious, maybe she'll let me know, and then maybe I'll be able to arrange some stuff. But she be playing with me. I mean, he told her in the pilot, "Are you trying to put your bid in?" And she wasn't trying to do that. So Maurice be like, I tried to let you know I like you, but you're not serious.
This is true. Because maybe
You know?
she's seducing and scheming him.
You
I
feel
think he
me?
kind of likes the attention, to be honest.
That's what I think is happening. I think I'm with that. She's definitely seducing and scheming him, because men, we be thinking that we don't. Mm-mm.
So the show has a lot to do with social media, including how easy it is to be fake on social media and for it to consume your life. What is your relationship like with social media?
My personal relationship with social media is hot and cold, bittersweet. Like, I'm crazy about social media right now because because of rap shit. So specifically, while rap shit is, releasing, I'm using social media like crazy. I'm sharing stuff. I'm communicating with people. I'm connecting with people online. If I see a message here on Twitter or on IG that's just really interesting, I'll like and comment and share and so on and so forth. But I be having to stay away from it. Like when I wake up in the morning, I like to try to. Okay, so I wake up 6 a.m. I like to just not even look at my phone until the start of the business day. So 9 a.m. Cool. Let's see what's going on the phone. Let me see what craziness it's time to deal with now. But I've had moments where I used to wake up and I would check my phone, get on my social media, and kind of feel like I'm playing defense, like, oh, this person needs me to do this. This person needs me to call them. I'm waking up with like 3 things to do for other people already, So now social media is really something for me that I'm only really looking at like it's my marketing tool. It's like I look at my IG like it's my network or like my TV station or something like that, and I just put out commercials on a regular, you know what I mean, and Twitter, I just look at like it's like my personal little blog or something like that. But I'm really more so using both to connect with people, connect with possible consumers, possible fans of the show, and seeing where they at, trying to connect with them, trying to see what their take is on the show. And that's what it is for me more so, But the more I can keep it off me, the more I can kind of stay away from social media, the better, because it's just hard to deal with so much content. So if my IG is a TV network, everybody's IG is a TV network to me, and that means that's a bunch of commercials and a bunch of TV shows, and you know what I'm saying. So it'd be hard sometimes to like manage it all,
Yeah, I could definitely see that. You mentioned that both you and Maurice are Haitian, and the show I feel like shows the diaspora of Black and African Americans. How is it like to be on a show that has a mostly Black cast, Black writers, Black directors? How's it like to be a part of that? Because that's still very rare in Hollywood and everyday life.
It feels like what church used to feel like to me. It feels like what church used to feel like. Like maybe I can find another word. It feels like inspiring or something. Like I'd go to church and you don't know what kind of miracles you're gonna see. So, oh, Sister Mary done fell out again. Okay, well, she might, like church had this vibe of like, we're gonna see. So like when we're on set, it's like we got the material, we're ready to set action, and we did it. But now, oh shit, here comes Issa. Issa got something to say. She's Pastor Ray. You know what I'm saying? And now, oh, here comes Sarita. Sarita got something to say. Episode 3, I think it was. Issa came out and was like, the moment when Maurice walks into Shawna's apartment, Issa came out and was like, this moment wasn't in the script, but she's like, oh, I just put a wig over there. I just want you to look over there and act like, that's her homegirl. And I was like, oh, that was hilarious. She made me laugh, like in the moment telling me, but that's what I'm saying. It's like church. It's like I'm in the middle of doing this thing, and then she comes out with like this moment of just genius. And then when I watch it in the show and the episode is done, after episode 3, I cannot tell you how many people called to talk about that wig. So it's like, damn, we had the material this whole time, but it's that idea of the wig. But I only think the idea of the wig works because they Black women and they understand what that is. And I feel like it works for me because I'm with a Black woman and I know what it's like to see like 10 different wigs on the bed or something like that. Or, you know what I'm saying? So when she said it, I was like, yo, you're a trip. But she's only going to think that because she probably got a wig on her bed right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it feels right to be working with all these Black creatives, and they're so good. They're so good. They all got so much skill at what they do, and they all bring it together. They're all collaborating well. Even when people feel like there's something else that they could have done, they're finding a very PC, healthy way to communicate it, and it feels right. It feels so right.
Awesome. Well, congrats on the first season, and fingers crossed for season 2 and for all your other projects. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. And
Thank you so much, Ariana.
Oh, no problem.
I look forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.